This is Sam.
And this is MY. So today we are going to share our long-distance relationship experience with all of you. So from the moment me and Sam started dating officially, we kind of moved in together. And so this short-term long-distance relationship was a very interesting experience for the two of us. The reason why it became long-distance was because I was in grad school at the time, and so I had to go away for the summer. During summer 2018, I went to Maryland to do my summer internship for my grad program. And so
it was rough in the beginning.
It was rough for her. I was having a good time because, I was in a new city, a new state with new people. I was having fun, but Sam was back at home. And so today we are going to share that experience with all of you. So on the day that Sam took me to the airport, I was really sad. One, because I was hungry, and two, because I didn't have enough sleep. So
no, remember we ate at the airport?
I know, but after we got there. But so pretty much like before we left, I had to clean my apartment and everything to make sure that I got rid of all my perishable food, make sure my house was clean so that by the time I come back, everything will be nice and neat. You'll learn that I like to be like that. And
I remember that day, it was like, I think your flight was really early too, so we had to everybody had to sleep over, I believe, if that's what I remember. And then we woke up early in the morning and she didn't want to talk to nobody. She was kind of sad. And then we were packing her bags in my car because she was going to be gone for 3 months. So then she cleaned out like her whole refrigerator, didn't want anything to go bad, So we, on our way to the airport, she wasn't really talking, but I knew she was hungry, so I told her like, oh, let me get you something to eat before you go, because you never know, you might be hungry on the plane, whatever. How long was the ride?
It was only like 20 minutes from my place to the airport.
No, the flight.
Oh, the flight, I forgot, but I had a layover in North Carolina.
Oh yeah,
for a few hours, and then I flew out to Maryland. Yep,
so that happened as well. And yeah, then after we ate, we said our goodbyes.
So I'm the type of person where, like, if my flight is at 6, I want to be checked in by
2 hours early.
Like 4, okay? I'm just that type. And so when we got to the airport, I was like, okay, guys, like, I want to hurry up and eat. I want to go find my gate. I want to check in, go through security, go by my gate. And then Sam was like, she's looking at the like where you go and check in. She's like,
line.
The departure line. She's like, there's like nobody at the gate. So like, it's not like you're gonna be held back, but still, I just wanted to get that process over with, and I didn't want them to like,
or like security check and stuff.
And I didn't want Sam and them to like just sit around and for us to kill time. And plus, I was taking a summer class for that internship, and so I wanted to get all my paper in check. I wanted to make sure everything was good to go, so I needed that time to prep for my trip. And so after we ate, I told Sam and them to leave. It was really sad. And then I flew out to North Carolina, like I said, and then I went to Maryland. And this was the first time that I flew by myself to a different state, and so that was a really fun experience. It was like kind of scary because I wasn't really sure what to expect, but then I knew that my summer internship employers, they were gonna wait for me at the Maryland airport, so I had that to look forward to.
I remember you kept telling me that you were nervous.
Oh yeah,
because it was your first time flying alone, and you were nervous from the switch off, you know what I'm saying?
The layover. I mean, like, I've always wanted to travel solo, so I told Sam, like, hey, this is just an opportunity for me to really go out there and see, how it is to travel solo. And that was also the first time that I moved states away from my family. Like, I've traveled and stuff like that, and out of the country in the States, and I would come home, and then close by my family. But then, this was the first time that I had to go to a different state, live states away from my family. So I didn't get to see Sam, and I didn't get to see my family for 3 months. And we are very family oriented people, and so that was especially really hard for me.
Like what, a month later, or was it like a couple weeks later, I bought my plane ticket to go out because I missed her too much. So I was like, let me just go out there and see how it is.
I would say I think she came out like maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks after me, because for my summer internship, I had to work sometimes on the weekend, and so I just wanted to make sure that she came on a weekend where I didn't work. And so you'll get to know me and realize I like to plan things way in ahead. So I was already counting my weekends. You know, I was gonna hang out with some of my new coworkers, my new colleagues, and so I planned out all my weekends while I was in Maryland. And so we found some dates and times that worked for Sam. At first, Sam was joking that she wasn't gonna come see me, but I was like, I'm pretty sure you're gonna miss me.
And I told her, like, if you miss me, you know, you can just fly back to Wisconsin, and then you can see your family as well too, you know. But she was like, you know, if I come home now, I don't want to come back.
Yeah, and plus I said, you know, the whole purpose of me going away this far was because, one, I wanted to see if I can really live far from my family, and two, I wanted to see if I could really just do it and be, you know, be independent, rely on just myself. And so I told Sam, like, I can't come back, because if I come back to visit you, that means I have to make my trips to go visit my mom and my siblings and my nieces and my nephews. And so I feel like as part of the experience, like, I shouldn't do that. And so I told Sam, like, if you want to see me, just come out and see me.
So then I had to suck it up, because I never rode on a plane by myself too, so I had to suck it up and drive all the way to Chicago airport by myself and go to the parking structure by myself and ride a plane, check in, everything, go through security. And that was a scary time for me too, but I don't know, at that time I wasn't scared. I don't know why. I was nervous, you know. I had sweaty palms, but I think the sweaty palms was because every time I ride a plane it scares me. So I had to do all that, check in, everything. And plus, when I landed in Baltimore, I rented a rental car. So, oh my god, I landed so late too. It was like midnight or something. And then I had to go find the shuttle bus to get to the car rental place. And it was scary. Like, imagine just being pitch black outside and you're just like, oh my god, I hope this bus take me to the right place, you know. And I'm just like following people too, you know. I'm just like, okay, if they're going to the shuttle bus, then I'm going to. But you know, it was a good time. It was a good experience. And like, you didn't live so far from the airport too, so
no, no, I didn't. It was like a pretty good, like 10, 15, maybe 20 minute drive, but it wasn't too far. But just to let you all know, like, Sam worked that whole Friday, so she came to visit me for just like 2 days. And so she would work all day Friday, get out at 5, and then my
plane was at 7:30,
so she would have to drive to Chicago.
So I like rushed my way to the Chicago airport to go park and then ride a shuttle bus to the airport and then fly all the way to Baltimore, just to make sure that I get on my plane on time, and then just to land at midnight and then go find the car rental place, and then drive GPS my way to her studio apartment. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is crazy.
And I don't think she got there until like 3 or almost like 2 a.m. And then we slept for a few hours, and then we went on our weekend trip, which we will go over that in a bit. And then Sam would leave like Sunday morning to go back home to rest, and then she went back to work like on Monday. So she had like no rest day. So when Sam came to visit me, because like, okay, so I do have a car, and so when I went to Maryland, I didn't take my car, obviously, because I flew there. But then I told myself that I didn't want to take my car because I wanted to be able to really navigate the public system that they have in Maryland and within that district. And so that was one of the challenges that I wanted to face. So when I got to Maryland, I did go explore the city, the state, with some of my colleagues, but I wanted for Sam to come so that we can go see that area. And so when Sam came to visit me, we were in Baltimore, and so we drove through Delaware, and then we got to New Jersey, and then we drove to Pennsylvania, went to Philly, and then we drove back to Baltimore.
No, we went to Washington D.C.
Oh, no, that's the second
one. Okay.
So we came back to Baltimore, and then she explored Baltimore. And so we did that all within like a week, like 2 days, like 40 hours.
I can say that it's the most tiring trip ever that I ever took in my life, but it was the most fun and exciting trip ever. Like, I had so much fun. Like, just for within under 48 hours.
Yeah, we did a lot.
Yeah, we did a lot. Like, we were like going, like, you know. And plus I had to, like, just imagine, like, I had to ride the plane back and then drive an hour 30 minutes back home, and then went to work 3 hours later. Like, that was crazy, right? But it was the most fun and exciting thing ever I did.
Yeah, I feel bad because, you know, I tried to drive.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
But yeah, it was fun. The whole purpose of that mini trip was because Sam always wanted to go to Seaside, New Jersey, and so I was like, hey, you know, it's not that far from here. Like, we can totally check it out. And so that was the first destination that we were driving to. So that's how we went past Delaware.
Jersey Shore House. Yeah. That was fun. That was like the highlight of my whole trip. I think that's why I was so like excited.
That she forgot to be tired.
Yeah. So that was fun, and we were on the boardwalk walking. Oh, that was amazing. If I can go back, I'll go back.
Yeah, and we were also swimming in the Atlantic Ocean too. I didn't want to leave.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to leave, but we weren't sleeping in Seaside Heights.
Yeah.
Because we were going to drive to Philly, and we had a hotel in Philly, so we were just in Seaside Heights for a little bit, and then we drove to Philly. When we got to Philly, it was really late, so we didn't really get to explore that. So that was like Saturday night. And so we spent pretty much like Saturday at Seaside Heights, and then we drove that evening to Philly. Then we checked into our hotel, got freshened up, and then we went to explore downtown Philly. And then that's where we had dinner and stuff. And then the next day we woke up, and then we went to go have breakfast and explore the city a little bit more. We went to go have like the famous Philly cheesesteaks.
Yes.
So that was really
Bomb.com.
good. And then we just kind of drove around, and then we knew that because this was like Sunday morning already, and Sam was like gonna leave like at 6 or 5 p.m. that Sunday, so we explored it enough, came back to our hotel, checked out, and then we drove back to Baltimore, and then we went to explore downtown Baltimore because Sam hasn't been there.
Oh yes, we did do that. Yes. We did. Yeah, we did go back to Baltimore. No, it's because, you know, I came out there twice, you know, so like I'm getting all these like
the 2 trips mixed up.
Yeah. So, you know, all that happened, and we did go back to Baltimore, explore downtown, which was amazing too. There wasn't a lot of stuff to do in Baltimore downtown, but then it was amazing because we rode the paddle boats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then we went to the mall.
Oh yeah.
And then the strip stores around it. Yeah. So that was fun too. So it was really hot that day though, and I wear jeans. Like, come on. She was like, let's go paddle boats, and I'm like, I'm in jeans, and I was like sweating, sweating.
It was really fun though. So when like I said, when I was in Maryland, I didn't have a car. So then the place that I was doing my internship at, they had like shuttle bus to take you to different locations. And so like I would always go by myself downtown, and so I would just like go chill by like where the mall is and where they have the restaurants. And so I used to just go out there, and so I wanted to show Sam that experience. But you know, she wasn't there for long. She was gonna fly out like that afternoon, so we didn't have the chance to really explore. But I was like, at least we get to paddle boat a little bit because we like to do that. So, but let me tell you guys something. So when Sam left, okay, so when I was in Baltimore, I had a lot of
first
fun.
time, right?
Yeah, the first time I had a lot of fun, but like, you know, I just like miss my family a lot, and like I really miss Sam. And so after Sam left, I was like really sad. I even cried a little bit because I was like, I miss my family.
I reached to the Baltimore airport, and then I called her, and I'm like, hey, like I'm doing good, you know, I just dropped off the rental car, I got on the shuttle bus, and I'm back at the airport now, so I just want to see how you're doing. And she's like, I'm crying right now, and I just miss you, and I miss my family. And I'm just like, oh my god, I'm about to hop on this plane.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a good experience. I mean, you know, that it made me really miss her, and so I would like look at plane tickets all the time, be like, hey, you know, you come on, like, you just take off Monday, come on like Sunday, you can leave back on, you know, Monday night. But then I knew that she couldn't do that because she had to work.
Keep in mind, all that time I just started my job too, so I didn't want to get fired.
Oh yeah,
you know, so I was just like, oh, I can't take days off. That's why I did weekend trips, you know. So I was just like, you know what, it's worth it to just see you for a little bit, you know. So that's why I did it, you know.
Yeah, but honestly, when I was there, I was like counting down every day until Sam came back, and I was counting every day until I left.
Yeah.
Until I get to leave, not because I didn't want to be there, but because I was just really homesick. After you left, and then I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks, and then you came back again. So that's why we're getting the 2 trip mixed up, because we did almost similar things.
So let me tell you, Atlantic City was amazing. I never heard of Atlantic City until that time we were there, because my sister's friend told us about it, and we're like, oh, you know what, it's only an hour away from here.
From
why
Sunset Heights.
Yeah, why not, you know, right? Why not just drive, you know? And then because I already know how Philly was, so I was like, yeah, you know, I want to go see something different, you know. So then we went there, and I'm just like, wow,
yeah,
like that's crazy, you know. They had like, it's like their little own city, you know. It was like off to the shore, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
it was like a mini Vegas.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
and I
Vegas.
never been to Vegas before, so
at that time.
Yeah, at that time, you know. So they were saying like, oh my god, it's like Vegas, you know. And I'm like over here like, oh, I wish I could go to Vegas, you know. If this
which
was
we
like
did
Vegas.
Though we went like a few months. No, we went a year after this whole trip.
Yeah, so I mean, it was crazy. Like I fell in love with it. So we were on the beach and
we were taking pictures and just really enjoying ourselves, enjoying the sun.
Yeah, and it was nice weather too.
It was very nice. I think if we knew that we were going to like Atlantic City that much, we would have just slept in Atlantic City. But we already had booked our hotel in DC, and so we were like, it's either we pay another room and just forget the room in DC, or do we drive down, you know?
Yeah.
And so we were like, maybe next time we'll come back to Atlantic City and explore it, and then we just like drove to DC.
Yeah, and DC was amazing too, honestly, but I wish we had more time. The next morning we woke up really early and we went to go eat at this restaurant, and then we went to go see the White House. And then we went to Chinatown, right?
Yeah, I wanted to do a lot of different things in DC because I've always wanted to go, but the time frame was just too short, and so we weren't able to do. How
far was the drive from DC to back to Baltimore?
It was like
2 hours, right?
I don't remember. I think it was like an hour, about 30 minutes or 2.
Yeah, it was like close to that. So we had to make it back on time for our plane, and we were like, you know, we can't spend a lot of time here because what if there's traffic on the highway, you know, and then we can't get back on time.
Because this was our first time driving to DC too, and so we weren't sure like how traffic was gonna be. So we didn't really get to do that much. But it is on our list to go back to DC.
Yes.
To do more things.
Yep. Our hotel was amazing. It wasn't
really
bad.
Nice,
yeah, it was nice, you know, but you know, we had fun. We made the best out of it within that short amount of time as well too, because it was only on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we came back too. So yeah, but I'm glad that they my sister and her friend came with me, because you know, they helped me drove back from Chicago.
Yeah, when they were coming back from Chicago, Sam was sleeping.
Yeah, I was knocked out. But anyway, so within this relationship, long distance, like it was rough at first. She argued with me all the time, and all I did was go to work and come home and try to go to the park and just, you know, keep myself busy.
Okay, I wasn't trying to argue with Sam. I was just trying. Okay, I'm very type A, and so I'm just like, okay, we go to work, whatever, 9 to 5, and then after that, I want to be able to talk with you on the phone. But then I started working out during that summer, and so I'm like, okay, why don't you go to the gym right after work, and then I go to the gym right after work, and then when we get back and shower, then we talk. But then, you know, Sam's not type A at all. She's like the opposite. And so I'm like, okay, I'm ready for us to, you know, FaceTime each other. But, you know, she wasn't ready, or she was doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had my colleagues, but, you know, and I had some sorority sisters out there too. But then besides that, like, you know, I was just like, okay, you know, I'm just like chilling by myself for the I was like by myself for the most part. And then I would just want to talk to Sam, but Sam was just so busy and enjoying her summer, which is fine. But then I think it was just something different, because like I said, you know, we started dating and then we moved in together right away. And then I went on this trip. So we were dating for like a year already. Oh, not even a whole year, like 9 months. And then I went on this trip, and so I was telling Sam, this is either gonna make us or break us. And so I think it was just an adjustment for the both of us.
We're just trying to say too, like, relationships aren't perfect. You know, sometimes I did really miss her because she's far, or, you know, I always tell her, like, you know, if you were here, maybe we would be doing this and that together, you know. But it was like a weird adjustment in the beginning.
I think we eventually got used to it. Because like towards the end of the end of my summer internship, I told Sam to come back out, but then I was like, you know what, it's fine, like I'm gonna see her in a few weeks. I think like after the second trip that she made, I had like 4 or 5 more weeks, and then I was coming back home anyways. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make the best out of it. Like, summer's going to end, and then, you know, when I get back home, I'm gonna start my second year in grad school, and then I'm gonna have to start the job search and all of that. And so I just really tried to make the best out of it. There was one time where I went out to New York to meet up with my college friends, because I had a few people on the East Coast with me too. to. And so we all just met up in New York City, and that was really fun. And then for the rest of my internship, I just like, you know, started wrapping things up in my class, and then I started, you know, wrapping things up in my internship, and then I was just ready to come home.
Yeah.
However, on the day where I was coming back home, my flight kept getting delayed and changed and delayed. I swear that day, my flights was changed, I would say like 15 times. It would say, okay, you're leaving in 1 hour, you're departing in 1 hour, 2 hours, 15 hours. No, wait, actually 30 minutes. No, wait, 5 hours. And so I was really irritated. But this is when I flew to, because I flew back from Baltimore to North Carolina, and I was coming back to Wisconsin. And so when I was in North Carolina, I was just like, I'm so tired, like, can I just go home? Yeah.
But honestly, when I flew out to Baltimore twice, and mine was delayed all the time. Like, it would be like, oh, like, yours is delayed until like 1 in the morning, you're not flying out till 1 in the morning. And then I'll get another text like, oh, it's actually delayed until 12:30. And it just kept switching back and forth, you know. And I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna go to the airport early and just be safe about it. But, you know, and then I had to pick her up from the airport in Wisconsin, you know. She kept texting me like, oh yeah, my flight's delayed, and I wasn't surprised.
On that day that I was coming back, my family from my hometown, they were throwing me a welcome back party. And so there was one point where I'm like, you know what, my flight said I'm not going to land there till like midnight of that day, so we might as well cancel this party. But then it kept changing and changing. But then eventually, because I think I was supposed to get back around like noonish or like early afternoonish. And then I didn't actually land until like I think 3 or 4 or 5. And so it wasn't too bad. But then when I got back, I was like, oh.
Yeah, and like, you know, from picking her up at the airport, and she kept getting delayed, and, you know, going back to her hometown, it's 45 minutes away too. So let's just say that her family was waiting for a long time.
There was like food ready, everything was ready. But then like I was updating them too, like, hey guys, my flight keep getting delayed, blah blah blah. So they knew what was happening. So when I got to the airport and we got my baggage and everything, I thought Sam would be outside waiting for me, right? I had to wait for her to come pick me up.
Hey,
I had to wait.
It's your fault because your flight was delayed. So I didn't know when. And then I waited for her to land and then text me like, oh yeah, you know, come now. You know, and I thought that it would take a while for a baggage claim, you know.
Nope.
Because she had
It was so fast. I had
two suitcases.
I have 2 medium-sized luggages and then 1 carry-on.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, it's gonna take a while, you know. So I didn't, and you know, at the airports, you know, you can't park there for long, you know. So I was just like, okay, just let me know when you land. As soon as you land on the plane, then, you know, text me, and then I'm on my way. And I didn't live that far too, you know. So she didn't text me, and then she texted me after she got all her baggage, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'm not there yet, but, you know, just wait outside.
It's fine. I'm just exaggerating. I only waited like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But still, you know, after everything I went through that day, I'm like, I just want to go home. I think from there, we just went like straight to my hometown. And then after that, my mom wanted us to sleep over again, but then we're like, no. So then we came back home to my apartment that day.
Yeah, came back. I slept because you were really tired. So.
Yeah, I was really tired. And plus the night before that, I barely got any sleep because apparently I bought too many things when I was in Baltimore, so I had to go buy the carry-on.
Well, I think our message here is it's gonna make us or break us, and it made us.
It did. Because every now and then Sam's sisters, they would joke saying, you know, if it was me and my boyfriend and he went away for 3 months, I would have been broken up with him. But I know they're just joking too. But no, it was a challenging time because, like I said, you know, like we just started dating, not even for a full year, and then I just like went away for 3 months, and you know, we were unsure about, you know, where our relationship was gonna go. But then, you know, I came back, and you know, we've been stronger than ever, and so we still live with each other, and so it's been a good journey. So if you were to look back at this experience, what would you say was the hardest thing that you had to deal with?
The hardest thing I had to deal with was sleeping alone. In the beginning, when we met each other, we never got away from each other.
Yeah, we started living together.
You get what I'm saying? Like, we were always together. We did things together, and you know, when we went to sleep at night, even if you didn't come to bed right away with me because I had work in the morning, you know, you were still doing homework and stuff. You would come to bed later, you know, and I just felt like, you know, it was something already. Like, we were always with each other. And then when you left, and then I had to go back home to go sleep in my bed. And I'm just like, oh man, like, this is different, you know? What was your hardest thing?
I would say my hardest thing was not having someone to drive me. Just kidding. No, I'm serious. So even when we're at home here, Sam drives most of the time because, one, I do not like the traffic and how people drive in the city. I'm not from the city and I'm still not used to it. I've been here for like almost, I'll be hitting my
2 years.
My full 2 years.
Yeah.
No, my full 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Full 3 years living here. And so I don't like the traffic, how people drive here. So when at home or in the city, then Sam usually drive. And so when I move out to Baltimore, I didn't have my car, and plus I didn't have someone to drive me, and so I missed that part the most. Like, you know, there's some like small things that we take advantage of, you know, because if you have a car, then you know you can drive yourself anywhere, or if you have friends to eat with, you take them with you. And so one thing that I had to really adjust in Maryland was, you know, keeping track of, you know, the public bus, keeping track of the institution's bus to take me to different restaurants and grocery stores. And you know, I'm the type where like I hate hauling like bags of groceries, and so I did my weekly groceries where, you know, I only bought enough groceries to fit in my backpack. That way I don't have to carry it. And I also, you know, use the bus system to take me to go eat at restaurants when I don't want to, you know,
or you did like Uber Eats and stuff like that. Yeah,
but I try not to do that because it just costs way too much. And it wasn't worth it. And so every now and then, like, I would just go out to a restaurant, just enjoy the meal by myself. And so I would say that, you know, just not having that car, or, you know, that or having Sam to drive me around. And like the other thing too is like, you know, that was hard was I didn't have access to the food that I like. Yeah. So like, you know, I would want to eat pho on Sundays. Well, if I want to eat that, I would have to order it in or go eat by myself at the restaurant. And sometimes I just didn't want to do either. Yeah. Or, you know, sometimes like I'm really craving like homemade stir fry. When I was living there, I did not cook any meal. They did provide me with a meal plan, and so I didn't have to cook. So my kitchen was never really, I never once turned on my stove. They also didn't provide me with like pots and pans. My colleagues said I could borrow it, but I just didn't find the needs to do that. And so, you know, I felt like during that summer I reflected on a lot of my experience and said, hey, we should be more grateful. So when I came back, I ate a lot of food. Yeah. And we did a lot of stuff. I feel like when I came back from Baltimore, like we just got closer too. Like we had to readjust to us being together again. And then after that, like we were just like, okay, you know, like we're going to start appreciating each other more, spend more time together. We didn't have time to spend with each other because I was working online and she was in school. I didn't want to make her feel bad, you know, because it's for school. But, you know, we every day since then, when you came back, we just spent time. Yeah, I would say like even after that experience, like we just really started to like appreciate each other more and like just really live in the moment and try to do fun stuff, you know, try to like make the best out of everything. I would say like even after I graduated from grad school, we even took that to another level, which that's for another video too. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna end it here. So that's our journey for being in a long distance relationship for a very short amount of time that when she left. But do you have anything else to say? Nope. I would say if you guys would like to hear us talk more and share more story time about our experience, like I said, if you guys want to know about how we met, or you want to talk about our experience after I graduated, you know, whatever you guys want to know, write it down in the comments. Yep. All right, so don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hey. See you all next time. Bye.